In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use a beautiful new JND403 Bluebells die to make a very simple card. And I love this. It's done as a get well card, but really, really easy and effective. So it looks really sort of 3D, but actually quite flat, but works really simply. And it's really easy to do. So the die comes in two parts. You get the flowers as a plate and the actual shadow of the flower. So it looks great made as a shadow. So here I've got a piece of field green essential card from Crafts 2. And I'm just going to pop on the die and we'll take that down and we will cut that. And here I've got a little piece of wisteria or violet card, again from Crafts 2. And we're just going to tape down that die and we will run those through our die cutting machine. So really simple to pop them on, and these will fit through all of your die cutting machines, even your really small ones. So when that's cut, we get the outer piece and we get the individual flowers. You can see it's got a real sort of spray look, just like sort of bluebells or harebells or really any sort of flower you want. So just need to add a little bit of colour. I'm using violet in the Craft Artist Pearl Fusion inks and a finger dauber. And we just take each individual petal and I'm just adding a little bit of colour onto each of those. So just flicking it, holding it in the air, flicking the colour on. So we've got each one. It just adds a little bit of 3D and it means you don't actually have to do a great deal of work. This is all flat glued on, but adding this little bit of colour at the top and the bottom, you can see just gives it a real 3D look to it and makes them stand out a little bit more. So here, we'll just do the last two. Really quite simple. And the final one, and it's really easy to tell which is the top side of these because you've got that chamfered edge. So we'll pop our ink away and we'll now grab our pieces of our card. So here I've taken a piece from the garden window section, so I've used the outside die to cut a panel that is exactly 4 by 6 inches. And it fits the flowers perfectly, it's designed to. So using a little bit of glue glaze, or you can use your fine glue applicator, I'm just adding a little bit of glue onto the green section where the flowers will be. You simply then take each individual flower and just pop it on into place. So really simple to do. And sometimes you think, oh, that's that one fit there, that one there. Each flower is individually drawn, so it's quite simple to see where each one goes. We're just putting them on top, and again, pop it in your hand. Mould it into the right place if you're very concerned. So here we go, pop that one on. One for down here. Two more left, and you could alter the colours within here, so you could easily change the colours to be different shades. And there we go, we've got our little spray of flowers. So all I'm going to do now is again use my fine glue applicator, and I find it easier to use just little dots instead of trying to follow all of the lines. And because they're flowers, as long as it's glued down, it doesn't need to be glued everywhere. You want that little bit of movement. So just using little dots of glue. There we go. Making sure that you put your pin back in your bottle. And I've already stamped this with a sentiment. So I've gone, I think this is from the 2J's sort of little sentiment sets. So I've just gone with a love always. We stick our flowers down to one side. And then I'm going to use one of the window pots. So one of the pots from the garden fence die set. So I'm using the largest die. I simply pop that onto a piece of scrap of craft card. really easy. So onto a piece of craft card, we'll cut that through, which gives us this beautiful little pot. And I'm just going to take a little bit, and I'm using VersaFine in sepia, on a finger dauber, run around the edge, and then heavier on one side, around the edge, lighter on the other side, and it gives you a 3D look to your pot. Really, really simple. And all I'm going to add to this, just to make it stand out a little bit, just down the centre is a little bit of double-sided foam tape. I'm using 2mm. So we take that off. We put our pot on. I can then, if I want to, lift that leaf and have him coming over the top. So we've got a nice 3D. Let's just get our pot straight, shall we? We go, pop our leaf back down. So there we've got our plant growing in our pot. And I brought a card blank, simple 5x7 card blank, matted and layered with, this one is 6, so it's 4 1/8 by 6 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 1/4, onto a simple card blank. I've added a little bit of foam tape on the back just to give it a little bit of definition, but this will still not be too thick to send as a normal letter. You won't need to go large letter for this. So here we've got a beautiful Love Always card, made very simply from the die, and it's exactly the same to use if you want to use the willow herb, which is 406. So for willow herb, we've done exactly the same technique with the one die and that one. And there we get the two beautiful, simple cards.